Night on Pop Samurai Network's Pop Contention. I hope you came ready to play because we're going through the top 5 fictional competitions in pop culture. Then we'll see some reviews. We'll talk about a big game that's been haunting our fellow hosts. And we'll get some rapid fire. So be sure to stay tuned. And we'll see you in just a minute.
Pop Samurai, I choose you!
Is Pop Samurai?
No! Hey, Pop Samurai, if you're not listening to Pop Samurai, then you're doing nothing constructive. Correct.
In a world looking for something to listen to, a group of friends rise to the challenge. It's Pop Samurai.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Pop Contention here on Pop Samurai Network. I am your host, Will Walkie Washkoon, along with my fellow hosts. That's Jaboy Jelani Hoon. That's Critical Joel Peprocki. And we're talking top 5 fictional competitions tonight. Guys, this is a competition.
Yeah.
And
ironic.
Yes, and sometimes some of us win this. Pretty often we all win, actually, by the end of the show, I would say.
Yeah, I think at the end of the show, all of us, including the viewers, are the winners here.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving me with that. If you want to be delivered to further pop salvation, please check out our website, www.popsamurainetwork.com, for all of the latest news and social bits and everything you could need to know about us three dashing young gentlemen sitting around these mics spitting the hot fire. That's all I've got for housekeeping. So,
well, that would make a winner out of them, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Oh, boo, boo.
Well done. Well done.
Jokes.
We got some. So, with nothing further and not much more to do, I say we get right into this list. Now, when we're talking competitions, we're talking any sort of sport or game or tournament. Basically anything where two forces are opposing each other for reasons other than they don't like each other. You know, that could be part of it, but we're not looking for grudge matches. We're not looking for fights to the death unless it's sanctioned as some sort of a competition event. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm rolling my fictional 20-sided die here, and it is a nat 20 for Jaboy.
Oh, God.
So why don't you start us off with number 5?
Ladies and gentlemen, for the top 5 fictional competitions, the first thing that came to my mind when this was brought up, when I remembered that this was brought up, was the WWE. And so I decided to go with the Royal Rumble as one of my number 5.
Hell yeah.
Hitter.
As a really good fictional competition.
It's not fictional, Jelani. It's real.
It's real to me.
It's real to some people, damn it.
Yep.
But it's still fictional.
But it is a spectacle. So good call.
Yeah, good one, man. I like that.
Joel, why don't you royally rumble into this competition with your number 5?
Well, this person in this movie certainly rumbles, but this is not his Rumble movie. It is actually his racing movie. I wanted to get a racing movie on this list, and I think Jackie Chan's Thunderbolt is a real gem, for those who have seen it out there, of competition and crazy stunts with real cars and everything like that. So, Jackie Chan's Thunderbolt. Let's get that on here.
Excellent.
Number 5.
All right. I believe that means it is my turn. Say what I want. My number 5 comes from an anime, and this is something that I really badly wanted to take part in when I was a kid. And that's the Duelist Kingdom from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh yeah.
I for sure wanted to be a duelist.
That's funny.
Running around this island just playing cards like it matters. Come on.
Listen, let's be honest. We all still want to do that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Duelist Kingdom, nice.
Which takes us to number 4 and back to Jaboy.
Back to me. Now this one is gonna be a little contentious, I think. Because I kind of consider it as fiction, but I could see where I see where the other side can be made. I wanted to put Iron Chef on this at my number 4. The Japan, not America, the actual Japan Iron Chef, the original, which was drawn out of like a fictional character of a chairman holding a competition and having these cool.
The chairman is so fun.
His flamboyant.
There's a lot of posturing.
A lot of posturing. The biting of the pepper. Yeah. And then there were just these chef gods that were these iron
and they were.
Which, let's be honest, like they were probably just like really great chefs that like he just randomly chose and just like, you are Iron Chef Japan, you're Iron Chef Chinese. And so I think I consider it fictional, right? Even though the cooking was real, I still consider it fictional. I don't know.
I think I'd want to give this to you mostly because I came really close to putting it on my list as well.
Wow.
I love Iron Chef.
That's a beautiful one. I love it. Yeah, let him have it.
Yeah, like, if it was Iron Chef America, I consider that more like that's just a food competition, real life. That's fine, okay. But this one was made to be kind of just like a flamboyant, like big spectacle.
It was a show.
So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, I'll put it down.
All right, number 4, Joel.
All right, says it in the name. It's a tournament. But actually, it doesn't say tournament. It's the Cell games from Dragon Ball Z. I want that on here. That's a beast of a competition. And if you survive, well, somebody might blow up. So
it's true. True. The Cell games.
Cell games. Yep.
For sure came to my mind as well. Good pick. Number 4 for me is going to be the fictional sport that I most wish was real, but we don't have the technology. And that's going to be Blitzball.
Yeah.
I would love to watch some real life Blitzball. Honestly, when I wasn't doing particularly well in the main game for Final Fantasy X, Blitzball kept me invested.
Oh, yeah. And that music.
So good. Hell yeah.
You could spend hundreds of hours just playing Blitzball.
I still can't believe they didn't come out with a standalone game.
Yeah.
I think they totally could have.
And polish it up a bit, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, it was pretty polished, but still.
Square Enix, if you're listening, I'll still take that game. I will buy that as soon as it drops. Anyway, number 3 for Jaboy.
Oh, number 3 for me. What do I got here?
What do you have?
Number 3 for me, I'm gonna throw in the tuning exams from Naruto.
Tuning exam, 100%.
I think it's in the original Naruto show. I think it's the best arc for me.
Hell yeah, it's the Naruto Olympics.
Yeah, so that's why I got it on here.
Fair. Legit. All right, Joel, your number 3.
All right. My number 3, I wanted to get a comedy on here, and I chose bowling. It is Kingpin, baby.
Kingpin, yes. I didn't think of Kingpin, but that's great.
Nice. Really good.
Good old Ishmael.
Great pick.
My number 3, I also went with an older movie, but it is not a comedy. I'm gonna go with the Kumite from Bloodsport. Fight to the death, but not you know, it's still a competition. That's why I made sure to qualify it. So. All right, you boy.
All right. Number 2 for me here is what do I got here? Number 2. For my number 2 best fictional sport, I am putting down the fictional sport of Pokemon training, or the Pokemon Championship, if you would consider that as a sport. Training, capturing animals, fighting leaders, and then getting to the big tournament, I think, is a big cool fictional sports that I wish was real, but we just don't have the animals for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Our
dude. Yeah, I think
animals,
that
when
definitely
they
counts.
our animals, when they fight, they tend to die. They don't just faint and get magically.
Yeah.
And we don't want that.
Don't want that. Also, like, the best competition that the main character constantly loses. Pokemon League. Like, every single league. I think he's won one ever.
Yeah.
Good point.
But at the same time, when you're playing those games, you're the winner.
Yeah. Well, there's
All
room
right.
for progress for Ash, right?
Right. Yeah, you've always got to chase that perfection. Joel.
Yeah.
How about you hit
All
us
right.
with your number 2 perfection?
I had a really tough time with my number 2, but I think I have to boil this one down to Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yes. Mortal Kombat. Well done.
Good one.
Back over to me. I am going to go with a comedy this time. I am putting down the competition that I would most like to take part in, and that is Beer Fest. From the movie Beer Fest.
I forgot about that. Good
Oh,
call.
yeah.
I own that movie too, and I forgot about it.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that movie so much.
It's
So
a
good.
Great movie. It's a great movie. Good stuff. Good one. Good pick.
All right, so that is all of our numbers 5 through 2. Now's the point in the show when we talk about the honorable mention, those picks that didn't quite get past the qualifying rounds. Jelani, why don't you hit us with a couple of yours?
Sure. Let's see here. Food Wars from Food Wars. I think is an amazing Iron Chef type anime. Haikyuu, the entire show is basically a giant tournament.
Man, now I don't know what your number one. I thought you were going for that.
Yeah.
Oh. UA Sports Festival for My Hero Academia, I think, is really great. Blitzball, the Duelist Kingdom, but also Battle City, I think, was also really great too.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's all I got.
Okay.
Right.
Joel, how about you?
Right. So my number 2 was a tough toss-up between what I said and King of Iron Fist Tournament, Street Fighter, Blitzball, Ready Player One, Karate Kid, Game of Death with Bruce Lee, Kickboxer, the kickboxing tournament, Wall Street, whoever makes the most money, Space Jam, Rocky, the entire series is kind of a tournament. Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore, Mighty Ducks, Enter the Dragon, Balls of Fury, Ip Man, Super Smash Brothers, and the World's Martial Arts Tournament from Dragon Ball.
That's a really good one.
Very nice. I think for once I might actually have the longest honorable mention.
Oh,
Ooh, let's hear it.
I have Tri-Wizard Tournament from Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The Cell Games, the King of Iron Fist Tournament, UA Sports Festival, the All Valley Karate Championships, aka Karate Kid. They make a game out of it, so this one might be kind of loose, but I'm gonna say the game of lifting Thor's hammer. Which was the brightest spot in an otherwise terrible movie, Avengers: Age of Ultron. The underground rap battles from 8 Mile, the hunt for Halliday's egg, which was Ready Player One, the Gundam Fight Tournament from G Gundam, the underground monster fights from episode 1 of Love, Death, and Robots. You remember with the like slithery carnivore character?
Absolutely.
Shaolin Soccer, Gwent, Chinchirurin, which was the dice game from Suikoden 2. Everything at the Golden Saucer in Final Fantasy VII. The F-Zero Grand Prix.
Nice.
This one's a little meta, but the Mario Party. So like what the characters are actually experiencing in Mario Party. And Space Jam on there as well.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, well done.
Thank you very much. But now it's time for you guys to stop being nice to me and start telling me your number 1 competitions. Then the real game will be put. So, Jelani, what you got?
Number 1 comes from my favorite anime of all time, and it is from Yu Yu Hakusho. It is the Dark Tournaments.
Yes.
I think it's the best arc. It's really well done, and it's for me the gold standard of tournament arcs. So,
big hitter there.
it's my favorite. So, and that's what I got for my number 1.
Very nice, Joel. Critical Joel.
All right. Although this is a dramatization, or I should say, it is a dramatization of a real thing. The Kumite from Bloodsport. That is my go-to tournament.
Yeah! Hell yeah. Frank Dukes.
Yep.
Very good. Okay.
Heavily dramatized.
Heavily fictional.
Yeah.
That's my Van Damme impression.
Pocket sand.
Okay, my number 1. I went from the competition I'd most like to be in to the one I would most like to watch from a million miles away and not take any place in. My number 1 is the Hunger Games.
Oh, good call, dude.
Really good.
Snuck it in there.
So just under the wire, you know.
Damn, that's a good one.
Well, thank you. All right.
Watch it from a million miles away.
Yeah, I do not want to be a part of that. I don't even want to really be anywhere in there. Anyway, thank you so much for being in here if you're watching at home. We are now going to move from the part of the show where we talk and are very polite and kind and go, oh, yeah, to the part where we crush each other's picks mercilessly. This is the nomination and the voting rounds, everyone. So you're going to see us nominate one of our picks from our personal list to take up a spot on the overall show list. That's the top 5 for the show. This is where bragging rights really come into effect. Everyone will pick which item they want and where they want. We will then debate and vote to see what goes where. As is customary, Jelani, I am going to keep picking on you and make you nominate first.
All right. My first... Let's see here. Let's go with... I want to throw that Royal Rumble at number 5.
Right.
Throw Royal Rumble at number 5.
All right.
Let's do it.
Joel.
All right. Yeah. All right. I want Kingpin at number 3. I think that's a heavy hitter. Got some big balls.
I am going to put Beer Fest against Kingpin at number 3.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
Oh, boy. All right.
Battle of the comedies.
All right.
How you doing over there, Jaboy?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, in that case, we are going to see the Royal Rumble at number 5 versus Kingpin at number 3 versus Beerfest at number 3. I'm going to put 4 minutes on the clock. That's 1 minute for each of us, plus the customary slush time that we always seem to need. So...
Overhead.
Yes, exactly. On On your mark, Jelani, we will get going.
I'm ready.
And go!
Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Rumble consists of a 30-man over-the-top rope challenge, which the entrants enter the ring every, I forget, it's like 2 minutes or something like that. Another new entrant comes in. It's probably the most exciting competition that the WWE has. I think for me, I think the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is more exciting than WrestleMania, I think, because of just the surprises that can happen, the sheer spectacle, and how much they're able to keep it together. I mean, 30 superstars working together to try and keep everything in line and keep it exciting for people. I think is an amazing feat all in itself. For me, it's one of those things. If you were a wrestling fan or are a wrestling fan, it's a thing most people look forward to. It's a thing where you can get the big surprises, you can get the cool unknowing who's gonna win, because all you have to do is throw someone over the top rope. So anyone can win the Royal Rumble in this, and they scripted as as so. So I think it deserves to be on this list. I think we could use this on a list here. So let's do it.
Well said. Right. And keep in mind, the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to go on to fight for the championship at WrestleMania.
That's right.
There's some stakes.
Yes. So it was always just one of those big, cool matches. And I was just God, I wish they had really big matches like this more. But
for sure. All right. Going to Joel with Kingpin at number 3.
All right. I'm ready to go. Here we go. So Roy Munson, a previously good person that ended up messing up in the last minute, wants his redemption and uses a bowling prodigy that comes from the middle of nowhere, essentially, and it's against their lifestyle as an Amish person, and basically he has to redeem himself against Big Ern McCracken. And Big Ern McCracken, played by Bill Murray, is one of the funniest damn characters that has ever existed, and that whole tournament at the end, particularly, including their encounters and whatnot, are some of the most beautiful acting out of Bill Murray. And my favorite is when he rips the hand off and he just is and throws it in the crowd. It's what the hell? That's how you respond to somebody's prosthetic. So yeah, I mean, this is just a really ridiculous movie all around, but it's definitely a great tournament in terms of you see the bringing himself back to stardom through Ishmael and then himself. So.
Agreed. Well done. Okay, and over to me for Beer Fest. Now, I mentioned that I really want to be a part of this because Beer Fest happens at Oktoberfest every year in Germany. And that is because the primary objective of Beer Fest is to be the best beer drinker in the world. The story goes that the Americans were sort of wronged as they were bringing one of their ancestors back to Germany to be laid to rest. So they get it in their mind that they are going to enter this beer tournament that's traditionally won by said Germans every year. And so you get a lot of fun training montages. You get all of the different countries showing up and sort of a little stereotypically, representing themselves, and all the beer you can drink, all the drunken shenanigans you can drink. It looks absolutely like a blast to be a part of. And I think it's really funny. It's one of those things I wish happened for real. And so that's why I want it on this list.
Some of Will Forte's perfect work.
Oh, God, he was so good. That might be one of my favorite things that he's ever
done.
Yeah. Anyway, you heard the beep. I heard the beep. That means that the time for debate is over. The time for voting is now. So what we will do is we will vote from lowest position on the list to highest. And you need a majority vote to get your item on. So we'll start with number 5, which is the Royal Rumble. Jaboy.
I think this should be on the list, so I'm going to give it a yay.
Joel.
I actually didn't. This didn't come to mind for me, but I have to hand it to you. This is one of those that it's like, yeah, this is some of the longest running fictional work out there that is constantly a tournament. So yeah, absolutely, this should be on this list.
And if it mattered what I am going to say, which it doesn't, you don't have to lie to the nice people at home. It doesn't matter what I say. But if I did have to break a tie, I would have put this over the ropes in a good way, and that is putting it over the ropes and into the list. Royal Rumble is 100% for me. It's a fantastic event, and I actually want to go watch some Royal Rumble videos pretty much after this show because that sounds so fun. It's a great event. 100%.
It's just a grand spectacle. I love it.
Yeah.
I really like you working through that ropes joke there.
I was kind of down for the count, but I kicked out and managed to,
cheesing it up.
Yeah, exactly. He was caught on the top rope. That's all right.
Some kayfabe joking we've got right here. Where the hell was I? Number 3! Number 3, Kingpin versus Beer Fest. Joel, which do you vote for?
Although I do love Beer Fest, I'm going to vote for mine. So, Kingpin.
Oddly enough, I think that I am also going to stick with mine. I'm going to drink it in. That's Beer Fest.
Ooh, shit.
Well said.
What you got, your boy?
Lord help me.
He dead.
Of course. Oh, man. These are some of my favorite comedies, too. Kingpin versus Beer Fest. If I had to, if I had to choose, right?
And you do.
If I had to choose between these two for the topic of top 5 fictional competitions, Beer Fest is more fictional, I think. And so I would go with Beer Fest on this one. But I do love Kingpin so much. But I think I would have to go on the basis of the topic, and it was well represented by both teams. I think I would have to chug down Beer Fest. I'm sorry.
Valiant effort, Joel. I'll roll with you anytime.
Yeah. I'll drink with you. Cheers to that.
Cheers. So, two of our spots have been taken up. That leaves the number 4, the number 2, and the coveted number 1 still up for grabs. And Joel, you get to go first.
Okay. Let's okay. Let's do Cell Games at number 4.
Cell Games at number 4. Okay.
Joel and I are just bound and determined to butt heads this episode. Because I was going to put Duelist Kingdom from Yu-Gi-Oh! At number 4.
It's going to be good. Gonna be good.
It's time to duel. I wish I had a sound bite for that instead of having to do it myself. Jelani, what you got?
Number 4, huh? You guys are crowding that number 4. I could shoot my shot for the top spot.
Oof. You don't want to have competition for that?
But I do have something else I want on this list. I'm going to try and get Iron Chef on this list. I'm throwing it up at number 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
Throw it at number 2. I'm going to try.
So, once again, we have competition between Joel and I at number 4. Going to be Duelist Kingdom versus the Cell Game. And then Jelani is going for 2, all on his own. Yeah, so, with that same 4 minutes on the clock, Joel, you get to debate first this time. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready to go.
And begin.
All right, so imagine some weird alien announces over TV that there's going to be a tournament held in 10 days, and they need the strongest people in the world to come and kill him, otherwise it's all going to shit. And so, you know, Goku and Gohan, they come out of their hyperbolic time chamber, and you know they go to this arena 10 days later. But yeah, so this is, I think, one of the coolest arcs in any of Dragon Ball Z, and in anime for that matter, because obviously the fighting in Dragon Ball is what it is. I mean, they've been trying to replicate it in video games for a while now in terms of games, but they just can't get it the same as the anime. It's just phenomenal. But the arc itself has a lot of the main characters have major occurrences happen. And they definitely present Cell as one of the toughest people to go against because he absorbs a person's power as you fight them and you lose. So you have Gohan and Goku both turn Super Saiyan. You have future Trunks die right in front of Vegeta. So his own damn son dies right in front of him. And then you also have the finale, which is Cell blows up, and it is just gorgeous. So I think this one is a pretty darn cool tournament arc, and it's definitely, in terms of anime, it hits that mark of like what anime fighting is to me. So I got.
Well done. Going over to me for Duelist Kingdom. So we both picked animes that are chock full of competitions. We could have picked any number of things from DBZ or Yu-Gi-Oh! The reason I went with Duelist Kingdom is I thought it was the coolest and most unique concept that they had. I thought Battle City, which Jelani talked about earlier, was pretty cool too. But Duelist Kingdom's where it all starts, where you get this invitation to go out onto this island where all of these different like locations and contexts are, and all these different duelists are trying to, you know, get the required amount of star chips to get to the castle. It's just cool how they played with the different locations and gave people different advantages based on the terrain. There was some skullduggery with like luring people into traps. And then you go to the castle to fight this guy who's got all these crazy powers, and he's the one that put it on. Much like Cell, he built it and they came. So it's just, I don't know. I always thought it would be such a cool thing to take part in something like this. And I mean, I still do. Like, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore, but you bet I did back in the day. I think Duelist Kingdom is absolutely fantastic. As an introduction to the show, can't beat it. And now we'll go over to Jelani.
Listen, guys, Iron Chef back in the day pulled me into a world where is where I started off my journey of wanting to cook, right? And it did it in an exciting and just awesome way of this beautiful like kitchen stadium, and going off of just like having the flamboyant chairman saying the fictional story of he was just this rich dude who wanted to try the greatest cuisines in the world, and he created this tournament, or not this tournament, but this competition where chefs could come challenge his Iron Chefs. And it was just a great fun show. And when it released over here stateside, I think people were just enamored by it. It inspired, of course, all of like Food Network took off because of it. Come on, guys, let's be honest. And like stuff like Iron Chef America and all the things that came after that, you know, Master Chef and stuff like that with the competitions and everything like that. That all came after this, right? No one thought that a cooking show competition would be fun to watch, but they made it into a thing where, obviously, did any of this matter? Does anybody like, hey, my stats in Iron Chef were this? No, it's all fictional. But at the same time, like them coming in and the chefs coming in and creating these amazing dishes that no one has seen before or would never see, amazing. And I think it deserves to be on this list for the movement it started here. So.
It very well might, but you went way over time, so you're disqualified.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I am sorry.
The time for debate ended 2 minutes ago. The time for voting is still going. So what we have is the Cell games from Dragon Ball Z versus Duelist Kingdom of Yu-Gi-Oh! At number 5. And then at number 2, standing alone atop a pile of vegetables, the Iron Chef. So let's start with Joel at number 4.
All right. I'm gonna stick with mine. I wasn't I know Jelani's like, God damn. But yeah, I think the Cell one is definitely one of the best anime ones. So go ahead, Will.
All games were good. Duelist Kingdom was better. I'm sticking with mine.
Oh. All right, Jelani, let's
What you
hear
got,
it.
your boy?
Why? This is the Torture Jelani show. What's going on here? Oh, man. Again, both my favorite arcs from both of these shows, guys. All right. Cell Games is top tier Dragon Ball Z. Duelist Kingdom is the one is the story arc I remember most from Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't remember any of the other shit.
Yeah.
God, this fucking sucks, guys.
You know, there is a third option if you really want to screw us both over.
I don't want to screw people.
Just remind me.
God,
I'm not saying you should. Vote for me.
Cell Games with Duelist Kingdom.
What do you think belongs on our nerd show?
They're both. Listen, let's be honest. They're both fucking nerdy as shit.
Oh, hell
yeah.
But if I had to choose one, going off of the title, going off of the topic of the fucking week again.
Oh, come on. Don't do that.
If I had to go off of the topic of the title of fictional competitions, right? Technically, I hate this so much.
Do it.
Top 5 fictional competitions. Top 5 fictional competitions. I think I'd have to go with.
Such build up.
Shit, this is really hard, guys.
One.
I think I'd have to go with the Cell Games here. I'm gonna go with Cell Games. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Upsetting.
All right.
But I understand.
Upsetting.
This is difficult, guys. When I'm caught between two very good picks, that fit very well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have. I have to concede, and I have to go with the Cell Games on this one. I love the martial arts tournament, and having it be the Cell Games. Yeah, I think it's got to be on this list.
All right.
Okay. Well, in that case, if you're keeping track at home, that means the bottom 3 items on our list are spoken for. Let's go to number 2, where Iron Chef is trying to take a bite out of this competition. Jelani.
Nicely said.
You liked that joke, you're going to flip over.
I like cuisine. I think this one goes on this list. Let's do it.
Joel.
It goes to me? All right. I think this was an awesome pick. A very inspired pick. Yeah, is it fictional? I'm going to say just because the premise of it is that I'll allow it. And I'm going to say that... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to abstain and let the host decide.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think it's a good choice. Just I don't know if it fits the category, but it's definitely an awesome one.
Yeah.
It made a lot of people famous, put it that way, including Alton.
It did.
I love it too, but I'm still salty about the last pick.
Oh no.
And I think I'm going to chop this one right out on the technicality that it is real cooks really competing with food.
Oof.
But hell yeah, dude, nice pick, man. That was a good one.
I only didn't put it on my list because I was worried you guys would do that to me.
Yeah, I said this was my contentious pick because I knew it could be seen as both ways. Because one, like, one, the whole premise of the show is fictional, and two, the stats never mattered because it's a fictional fucking show. It's just people coming in and cooking, and then that's it. But the cooking is real. That's the thing. Where I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jelani, it's okay.
Anyway.
Sometimes when you're in the kitchen, you're gonna get burned, and
Exactly.
that's what happened with that pick.
But you know what? I took a chance. You know what? I shot my shot, and you know what? I'm better for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I'm gonna stop grilling you, and we can go on to our next pick.
You are such an ass.
The number 1 and number 2 spots are still open. I believe most of us have 3 left.
Yeah, we should still have 3 left.
So, at the number 1 spot, I'm gonna put the Hunger Games. That wasn't a joke about Iron Chef, by the way. I'm just putting the Hunger Games in.
Okay.
And then Jelani, it's your pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 1, I'm throwing the Dark Tournament up there.
All right.
Okay.
Then
What you
I
got,
have
Joel?
to do my due diligence and put the Kumite up at number 1.
Oh God, we're going 4 rounds. Okay.
Oh, my Lord. Here we go.
Okay. So we have the Hunger Games facing off against Yu Yu Hakusho's Dark Tournament, facing off against Frank Dukes in the Kumite. All at number 1. The number 2 spot has been left vacant. And since I nominated first, I have to go first this time. 4 minutes on the clock. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're starting now. Okay, so my number 1 point. We like to have some variety on this show, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a pick that is not just straight up 1v1 fighting in a tournament. The Hunger Games has many more layers to it. You've got all the awesome tech, you've got all of the cool different characters from all of the different districts. You get the backstory of like what's going on there, and you know, the overarching just craziness that this simple competition is wreaking on their society. And like you get the training leading up to it. Like this is a full movie of competition. You get to see from start to finish. And it's fantastic. There's you know, heart-wrenching moments where people don't want to have to compete against each other. There's excited moments where people narrowly escape. It's honestly got everything. I think the Hunger Games really is the cream of the crop when it comes to fictional competitions, despite how icky and sad it is. Okay, after that, let's go to Jelani for the Dark Tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gold standard of tournament arcs is the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament, guys. It is one of the few arcs that goes through all the way and sticks with the tournament idea, right? Most arcs seem to fizzle out and don't even have the competition go all the way through. Something happens, things get screwed up. No, this one actually has the bracket. You follow them through the 15 teams. You follow the Spirit Detective Yusuke Urameshi's team all the way through his tournament matches, their tournament matches, the team that he's created here, the unification of him, Kuwabara, and his other teammates in this coming through and battling these cool, unique teams every step of the way and barely eking it out. And I think it's one of the most well done tournament arcs out there. I think the battles ramp up. Even though you keep getting these great battles, they just keep getting better and better and better as they go through. And I think it's well done. I think it needs to be on this list for just being the gold standard of tournament arcs out there. So that's what I got.
All right, Joel.
All right. So Bloodsport, the Kumite. This is like I said, a dramatization of what is a real fight. But this one particularly focuses on a real individual named Frank Dukes, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme. And honestly, I just, I thought about all the different fighting movies and whatnot, but the tournament to get to the final boss, or essentially the final boss, Chong Li, who has hurt his best friend and, hurt many other people along the way, including making threats to Frank Dukes' woman. Ain't gonna do that. So it's just like you can see the hatred for the two people, but he has to work his way up to that guy to get to him. And then that final battle is truly something to behold. And again, they show it from beginning to end. This is an illegal fight at the time, and so basically it was a bit rough. And it was being chased by the U.S. government to be dragged back to the United States, but they let him do this so that he could just finish what he needed to finish here, which is, for his sensei. So awesome tournament here, and 80s gold.
Hell yeah. All right. Well done. That was perfectly timed. That is the number 1 spot round. So, as always, no more debate. Time for vote. Comes to me first. I am sticking with the Hunger Games, baby.
Oof.
Jelani, what you got?
Difficult, but I'm going to stick with the Dark Tournament.
I see. Don't get too happy, both of you, with smiles on your face, expecting me to be like, oh, the Kumite doesn't stand up to those. When I think of a montage, I think of Van Damme training doing the splits on the top of Hong Kong. All right.
5 rounds. Let's do it.
Let me think about this.
Ooh, look at the chat. Lighting up right now.
Don't look at the chat.
Oh,
the chat's wrong.
Well, I'm sticking with the Kumite. I'm sorry, boys. I gotta do it.
They all have fallen off, been defeated, and thrown to the wayside. I am afraid that none of these worthy contenders will be on our list. And we go to round 4.
All right.
Sad. Moment of silence. Pour some out.
I didn't get to see the chat. I gotta bring that up here.
Jelani, why don't you start us off? The number 2 and number 3 slots or number 2 and number 1 slots are still available.
All right, let's throw up the Pokemon Championship at number 1.
Ooh.
What you got, Joel?
Oh, Mortal Kombat number 1.
Ah, I see. Seeing as how I have 1 item left, I'm gonna go Blitzball at number 2.
Beautiful.
All right.
So, 4 minutes are on the clock. We have Blitzball at number 2. We have Mortal Kombat and Pokemon League number 1. I will start. 4 minutes on the clock, and here I go. Blitzball, for those of you who don't know, is the fictional sort of water soccer game that they play in Final Fantasy X. Highly futuristic, very cool. It's one of those things where as you're playing through the main storyline of Final Fantasy X, it is a sort of side attraction that you can spend some time on. As you're going through the world, you can recruit new players, which is the part I love the most. And it has RPG elements, so you get to actually level up your character as you play, to the point where, I mean, you can just overwhelm teams. You're actually dealing with salary cap, you're dealing with paying your players and putting them in the best positions. You've got all these different teams from all the different areas that you visit in the real game. I think it's absolutely a fantastic competition. The tech is cool, the characters are cool. The gameplay itself is very fun. And honestly, that opening cinematic is still one of the dopest moments in video.
Oh, yeah.
So, Blitzball at number 2, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Chess, come on. Give me a break, man. We're going over to Jelani for Pokemon League, number 1.
All right. So for the Pokemon League Championship, guys, it's training monsters, capturing them, and defeating all these gym leaders to enter the Pokemon League, to fight the champions, to be named Pokemon champion. It is everyone wanted to be the best back in the day, right? And this is not just including Ash Ketchum back, who's probably not the best champion out there. He's probably not even the best Pokemon trainer out there. But when you play those games, right, whether it was red, blue, yellow, gold or silver, all and beyond, like each time it's the main focus of the story is for you to become Pokemon champion and to beat the gym leaders and to get into the Elite Four and become champion, and that's what you want to be. And I think it deserves to be on his list. I think it's a great pick to be number one on this, so let's do it, guys. Let's get this to number one.
All right, Joel, you got something to say about that?
Your soul is mine. That's what I've got to say about that. This one, I mean, this made waves worldwide. This was a video game phenomenon that transformed into something bigger and is still going strong today. And even to the point where it's like, it's just a gruesome, over the top, you know, that was what it represented back then, was the same thing as it does now, which is people with somewhat special powers use them to try to smoke one another, to try to eventually, you know, become the best in the entire otherverse. I don't even know what to call it. It's like the underworld, the upper world, they had a whole bunch of different places. But yeah, there were some very strong people in this and some very notable characters. The history of it becoming a movie at just the right time, although it is terrible by today's standards, was freaking awesome as a kid. And they proved that the tournament in there was just as awesome as well. Bringing each character to life and having a story for each of them in the later games was so cool. The older ones didn't have the story, but we all wrote our stories in our heads, thinking about what they represented, being like, oh, you know, I don't know. You could think of 1,000 different things of each individual character. They gave them personality, put it that way. And it just reminds me of how awesome that game's tournament style was, where you move up the ladder and you'd see the little thing move up each time. So awesome game. Definitely deserves to be up there.
Well done. And again, pretty close on the timing. We are at the end of debate. Number 2, Blitzball, stands alone, and I'm going to give it a yay. Jelani, help me out. Come on.
Yeah, I'll give it a yay. Blitzball is a very unique little side thing you can do in Final Fantasy X for it to just... I really thought that they would have made its own standalone game, but they never did. It was interesting. So.
Oh, well. Joel, what would you have voted?
I was going to mention in the chat that you must have been the only person I know that was actually very good at it, because I was pretty terrible at it too, but it was still a beautiful and fun game, and honestly very unique. So I think it deserves to be on this list. So it made a name for itself against a game, the rest of the game, that was heralded as one of the best games of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Excellent. Well, Blitzball, my last chance, made it on the list. And now we move on to the big show. Number one between... Not the big show like Royal Rumble, the big show. Like, never mind. You get it. Pokemon League versus...
Ken Connell's top ropes again.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really wrestling with this intro, aren't I? Pokemon League versus Mortal Kombat. Delani, you get to vote first.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with my pick here. Pokemon League Championship. I think it's gonna have to stay.
Joel,
I don't blame you. I think Pokemon's a good one, but honestly, the fight to the death of the most ridiculous game that has come out in the past 25 years, it's got to be Mortal Kombat. I'm going Mortal Kombat. So, Will, do it. Do it to one of us. Hurt us.
I think one of these was a big part of my formative years, and one of them I shied away from a little bit more. I think I'm going to have to give the fatality to Mortal Kombat, and put Pokemon League in that number 1 spot.
Oh.
Ooh.
Fair enough. Pokemon's a good game.
I am sorry. Pokemon always gets play around here, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can always get a second vote for something Pokemon show. But anyway, that was our comp. Oh, I have to read it? I didn't actually take it down. So
well then we have a certain boy that keeps
I am going to throw it over to Jelani. Jaboy, give us that big beautiful list.
Oh, right. The big beautiful list for today. At number 5, we have the Royal Rumble from WWE. Number 4, Cell Games from DBZ. Number 3, Beer Fest. Number 2 is Blitzball from Final Fantasy X. And number 1 is the Pokemon League Championship from Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all. Very good. Thank you out there for catching this, and hopefully you'll stick around and watch the next round, which is going to be Pop Aficionados. Our talk show for what we're doing, what we're playing, what we're reviewing, what we're looking forward to, and also we'll just wrap it up with a little bit of get to know the guys. So we do hope you'll stick around. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and then we will be right back. So see you in just a bit. Bye.
Bye.